Hi everyone, this is Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot, Astrology and Spirituality. How are you all, wherever you are in the world when you're watching this? A huge shout out to you. So today I wanted to jump on before the weekend here in Australia. It's Friday morning. Fridays are always my happiest days. Well, I won't say happiest, but I do look forward to a Friday because it marks the start of the weekend. If you're watching this and you're a bit behind, you are coming up behind us in time zone. You are coming up to your weekend as well. So today I want to pull a couple of messages from Spirit for us and then move into the destruction of records. Of course, if you remember my readings of the past, I said I think he's ripping up records. And we know who he is. It is the ex-president. I'm interested to see will he be charged with that, because the National Archives in the US has referred that to the Department of Justice. That's a direct referral, which means they're going to have to speak on it. So very interesting to see. And why did he take them away, including top secret or allegedly top secret records? My feeling has always been that Section 14 is moved before 2024 and does gain Republican support. We can see a lot of the GOP frontliners, the most visible of, I guess, the old guard are coming out. Pence, McConnell, I think even Cruz, that despicable Cruz, has done a backflip as well. We're going to see more and more people pulling away from him as time goes on and more information emerges. The January 6th committee, I always stay on that because I think it's has a critical function in relation to protecting democracy in these quite troubled times. It is subpoenaing Peter Navarro, Trump's advisor. Okay, or his advisor when he was in the White House. I do want to just briefly touch on the Canadian trucking protest. I'm copping a lot of heat with this. Those protests are global, but it is looking like it's pretty troublesome in Canada. I read today that they're blocking a third border crossing. So Trudeau is going to have to act. He may even bring in some kind of National Guard to man the border. The thing is with trucks is that they're big and they're hard to move. And so any confrontation with police there could be injuries. So it is a really tricky time in Canada. For my Canadian viewers, thank you for giving me all your wonderful feedback. I do know that there are nefarious elements in all of these global protests, including in Australia. And so it's almost like hijacking a peaceful protest for nefarious means. And the biggest nefarious element of these protests is in the funding of them. And in the Canadian convoy case, the three top organisers are all white supremacist. They're known for their radicalisation, and of course we've got that US influence all the time. Okay, let's get started on today's readings. And if you don't want the preamble, by all means, fast forward. We have the moon in Gemini. So Gemini is interesting because, there's a lot of harmony in the astrology at the moment, including trines, which is the harmonious flow of energy between planets. Trines between Mars and Uranus, Venus trining Uranus. And of course the big one, the moon trining the sun, or the sun trining the moon. So there's a lot of harmony about today between our emotions and our thoughts and our actions, in our expressions. And with the moon in Gemini, what we get is a really quick insight. Sometimes when we labour we labour to understand why we're feeling the way we are. Somehow when the moon is in Gemini and we've got that sun trining the moon, it's like we get there really quickly. It's like our mind is right on point, right on target. Our understanding and awareness moves ahead in leaps and bounds. So it's a good day today with many of those trines. But I do have to say that the square here is the moon squaring Neptune. So there's still that element of things coming into form, people being a lot uncertain, and a level of illusion that people may not be checking themselves. They're leaping ahead with their beliefs before they've got that kind of certainty that comes with time and with knowledge. So this is, the signature of the pandemic, because we're not looking in hindsight yet at it. There's a lot of lessons to be learned, some good, some bad. But anyway, that's for another reading. Let's get on and pull a couple of messages from Spirit. Thank you all for your comments and also your support and donations for this channel. They are greatly appreciated. I am feeling a whole lot better, thank goodness. I was really not getting to the end of my tether, but my health just wasn't picking up, but it looks like it's picking up now, so I'm okay. Thank you for all your wonderful messages of support. All right, let's tune into this. I did get, in relation to Canada, I think eventually Trudeau will come to the table and negotiate. I think that he will do two things. He will secure things in whatever way he can do to avoid violence, but I think and some of that will be clamping down on those US influences. So he will do something like that, whether that's putting, the Canadian National Guard or Army even. I don't think it's Army, it's something else, tightening up the border in terms of what trucks are going to and fro, but I also think he's going to sit down and negotiate as well. All right, messages from Spirit, please. Messages from Spirit. And I'm hearing legitimate concerns. That's where he'll put his energy, not illegitimate. Okay. All right, so messages from Spirit, please. We have the Four of Wands. That's nice. It's celebratory. Maybe that's our weekend. No, it's reunification. It's coming back together in some way. We have the Chariot. So the speed at which events have unfolded. I do want to say, and I don't want to get too controversial because, I was really trolled, particularly on my Facebook page, but that's Facebook for you, isn't it? I do think that as we move along in time and the pandemic becomes more endemic, providing there's no major variants, which I'm not going to read on today, we will move away from mandating harsh mandates. So mandates will always exist in high risk and vulnerable settings. However, there'll be less emphasis on the word mandate. It will be more in-house, become more in-house, which of course was the way it was before. I went for a Department of Health job at one time, decade ago, and I had to get all these vaccinations before I even got to the interview process. It was a condition of being having an interview. Well, in hindsight, I wouldn't have done it now, but they were Hep B, Hep A, those sort of vaccinations, because I would have been working in a health setting. Okay, so the Four of Air or the Four of Swords. So the pace means that some people need to step back a bit because of the fours here. Fours are foundational. It's when we dig around our foundations and we start to pour some more concrete, because a bit is chipped here and there, and they're needing a bit of a refresh. In some cases, they need digging out and redoing. And this is going so quickly with the Chariot energy there that things are getting a little bit, or can. The thing is, with the Chariot, can get a bit out of control. So the horses need a lot of reining in. Now, because I was talking about the Canadian convoy, and indeed all the other protests, New Zealand, Australia, wherever there are protests, we have a situation that needs to be carefully managed, because these protests, which may have started out well-intentioned, well, maybe not, are starting to cause real problems, including to the economies that pay for the health systems, that pay for the schools, that pay for the roads, that pay for the, the drill. Okay, so we do need to be a little bit mindful that the energy is pretty harsh at the moment, but I do feel that there will be some, I don't want to say price to pay around these protests, but it's that kind of thing. All right, let's get started. Oh, Four of Wands comes back again. Beautiful. What was that other one? And the Three of Cups. There's some kind of celebration here. So doom and gloom aside, there's something really major about to occur that provides us with celebration. Is that the ex-president being indicted? We'd celebrate that, wouldn't we? All right, let's have a look. Destruction of records. What's going on now? And of course, there's the latest is, without getting too graphic, is that he allegedly flushed stuff down the toilet. Goodness gracious. All right, so Page of Coins. Yeah, information. Could be he had budgetary, financial information there. Classified financial information. All right, let's see. What did he have that was top secret? Allegedly top secret. It's not been confirmed yet. But what did the ex-president have that was top secret? Allegedly top secret. What was there? Show me what was there. Okay, so why am I getting a film recording? Do they have videotape? Not video, but do they have do the archives include tapes, like visual tapes, videotapes? They're not videotapes, but you know what I mean? Because that's what I'm getting, movie reel. Four of Coins. There is something around financial information in that wad of boxes that he took to Mar-a-Lago. For some reason, why would he have taken that? Some kind of financial information. And he is being investigated. Look at this King of Swords as a result of this. It's very pretty clear to me that the King of Swords is a lawyer, a prosecutor, an investigator. And we've got the Four of Coins. That's withholding information. He's being investigated for that. They're not turning a blind eye. So we have the Ace of Swords here again, the truth emerging, which is the foundation of the reading. So much truth. So much truth. It's inevitable that it comes out. And for those that get a bit depressed about, things being hidden, shoved under the carpet, etc., etc., you can't have awareness in the absence of truth. You can't have knowledge in the absence of truth either. And you can't move forward in the absence of truth. So anyone who's getting a bit doom and gloom about what's going on in the US, at least for my US readers, you have so much truth emerging. And for me, it is, as an Australian, to watch this process so up close and personal. It is, in a way, it's inspiring. I know there's a lot of complaints about the mainstream media in America, but you really are getting to the truth. So we had the death card in the past. His time ended, basically. Remember, the death card kept coming up for him, and I was pretty certain, this is throughout 2021, and I was pretty certain that his hold on power was going to end. And if I said it in many readings, it's already kind of ended. The Six of Coins. Okay, so we've got some loans and debts. We've got some documents that relate to giving finance or helping other countries. Now, remember, we had technology, nuclear type missile technology given to the Saudis. It has to do with money and foreign type of records. The Queen of Cups, we are getting a revelation. Look at that book. She holds secrets. And the revelations will be for our own good. Three of Wands smacks for me of foreign influence here. These related to help that the US government gave, and they could include some kind of records of conversations, records of maybe negotiations, financial negotiations, and it is all coming out with that sun. Remember, the sun trining the moon. The other aspect of the moon is the shadow side, so of course things are merging out of the shadows. Okay, the Nine of Swords, I think he'd be pretty full of anxiety at the moment. And the Four of Cups, yeah, he's got his back to the wall. There is one cup. There's a lot of disappointment when it comes to the ex-president, but there's a cup. There's an Ace of Cup remaining, and we've got the Emperor card. So when you think about the way that his last days in the White House went, he became extremely belligerent. He wasn't doing anything. Remember, the pandemic was raging, and he was just that he had, notoriously grifting people around him in those last days. And under those circumstances, that's where the taking of those records went to, in that emotional state of his, disappointed that he was no longer the president. And we'll just get one more there. The Two of Coins, walking a tightrope. So he took those to protect himself. And of course, there may be some that will never be resurrected, some that are gone forever. But I just got that movie reel. So something to do with something that was captured that he didn't want captured, obviously. Why I'm getting a pull to visual, I don't know. He, in a way, in his mind, thought he was entitled to that, but he knows he wasn't. But there you have it. You get his denial, and we can tell ourselves anything and believe it to be true. But he certainly knew that classified material should not go out of the White House. Okay, and that's the basis of a prosecution. We've got the Hermit, so we've got and the Page of Swords and the Eight of Cups. Wow, investigation, review, the truth being coming out, and we've got the Eight of Cups walking away. Yeah, it's pretty murky energy toward the end of, in his mind, that White House. They tell me that people were basically trying to babysit him and stop him from doing anything further in his last days in the White House. And all of this is we're still going to, more of this is coming out. Okay, so the big question here is, will he be indicted? Will he be indicted for this, I'm just going to say, stealing of these records? Will he be indicted for the stealing of these classified / allegedly top secret records? Will he be indicted? Part of an overarching framework. So we've got some kind of revelation here with that Queen of Cups and the Five of Cups, the Lost card. I'm still getting into his energy. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Seven of Swords, lies, deceit, taking something that he shouldn't have is the foundation of the reading. He thought it was a strategy to keep the lid on things, but it wasn't. Here we have our Six of Pentacles again. This has to do with foreign countries that were aided during his time there. And it has to do with money, some kind of, it's like he's really, Four of Cups. Four of Cups is disappointment, but there's one cup there remaining. Now, one cup remaining gives us cause for optimism. The past, going back into the past, digging around in the past. We still have this information coming out. What's the environment around it? 2 pages. Information coming out, truth coming out, revealed, something given to us, something being revealed. The Ace of Swords. The Hierophant, hopes and fears. That's the government taking action. Will he be indicted? Four of Coins. Four of Coins came out before. What's clarifying this? Insecurity. The Empress card. Abundance of. There's an abundance of information he hid. And the Three of Coins. Three of Coins, having skill sets, working together. I'm not clear that he will, but we've got the Ace of Cups, which suggests to me potentially that there's a potential for him to be indicted. Why? It's like the Four of Coins. It's clarified. It's no, but it's clarified by yes. And we've got people working together. This is dark money. What's going on here? Whoa, okay, so that wanted to come out, and that's the Five of Swords, abuse of power. Look, please, will he be indicted for the destruction and stealing of classified records? So we've got the Eight of Pentacles, somebody's working on it, the Ace of Swords, the truth coming out, and the President, the Emperor, the Seven of Swords, lie, deceit, taking something away, and the Devil card with the Sun, toxicity exposed. So if I were just to look at these 3 cards in answer to the Four of Coins, he'll have to give them back regardless. I think they're still working on getting them all back. That's what I think. The Ace of Swords, I mean, these are yes cards, and the Emperor. The Emperor being somebody in control, the President in control. We just have, every time I read them, we just have such a toxic energy emerge that his morass of troubles bleeds through into the cards. And it's the predominant energy. It's the predominant energy. What's at the base of the pack? The Ace of Cups, the Nine of Wands, and the Fool. Again, all yes cards. Look, I think there's more to come. Ow, hurt my elbow. I think there's more to come basically on this. There will be more revealed about what he destroyed, what he did. And it's all part of an overarching framework. So add that to everything else he's facing. It's impossible for him not to be indicted. Okay, quickly before we get too immersed into that morass of energy, thick negative energy, toxic energy, let's have a look. Will Trudeau... Okay, what's going to happen? Just a few cards. What's going to happen with the Canadian trucking convoy blocking a third border crossing at the moment? What's going to happen with the Canadian trucking convoy? The Tower. Okay, it's pretty serious up there. No trolls, please. I just don't want trolling on this question. If you're... and by the way, my words were anti-vaccine mandates right through that reading. I didn't say anti-vaxxer. I said anti-vaccine mandates, and later on vaccination mandates. So don't come on and abuse for something that's actually you're wrong about. Okay, the Chariot. Whoa, these cards at the beginning. He's going to spiral out of control. I'm sorry, Canadians. or it already has. The Eight of Wands, things speeding up. I don't like this energy. It could take a turn for the worst. Four of Swords, retreat, stepping back, illness, wounded in battle. The High Priestess, when she shows, there's something here for us to watch out for. Something's coming into form. The Nine of Wands, this is boundaries, wounded in battle. I think that Trudeau has to start to literally police the border for disparate nefarious energies coming through and adding to what's going on there. We have the Fool card, that's like a new start, and the Hermit card, review. This is a softer energy, which is where I think he will come to the table. He's just not going to send in the National Guard and be done with it. I think he will sit down as well at the same time. Hopes and fears laws, they face heavy fines. But this sort of blocking of borders, violence, intimidation will not be tolerated. The law is going to be enacted there. And we've got the Ace of Cups. It will disperse in a way, but I do see, and it will be fearlessly dispersed. I do see him also coming to the table. A lot of anxiety in Canada about what is really going on here, and a lot of it is the funding from the US. Bombshells coming out around the funding. You can find that information out through credible sources. They are white supremacists, nationalistic type of energies, funding coming from the US. And of course, when Fox News G's up a protest in Canada, Tucker Carlson, etc., you know, the same forces that are causing unstable conditions in the US are now migrating to Canada. That's not to say that those truckers that don't want vaccinations don't have a point. So these readings focus in on lawlessness, radicalisation, and violent type of energies, anarchy type energies. It has nothing to do with what I may or may not think about vaccinations. In fact, I'm not for mandates, but I am, other than in vulnerable settings, care settings, health settings. But what I am definitely opposing are these radical, violent, extremist energies. So there you have it. All right, thanks again. See you again soon. Bye for now. Thank you.